Okay, this is the QBasic version of Reversi, and this is the Pass2JS version. So this has all completely been compiled to JavaScript using the Pass2JS compiler, and it looks virtually identical except for the fonts here. So everything else looks and plays just like the original QBasic version. So let me just go make a few moves in the basic version. And if we put that aside, do the same thing here. As you can see, as I move the cursor around, wherever there's a valid move for me, the cursor changes from a crosshair to a circle. And if I hit the space or enter key, it changes, well, it places my chip basically there and flips over whatever uh, chips I flip over. And my score keeps getting updated. At any point, I can restart this game by pressing S. If I need help, I can press the H key. I get a help screen. I can set the difficulty, expert, novice. And the only thing that doesn't work is the quit key. So you can't really quit out of a website or a web page here. Um, it doesn't do anything. So maybe in the future I will add, a little message that says, that doesn't work. But for now, it's a known issue. So I've pretty much replicated all the functions of the QBasic version, and I I say it works really well. It feels just like a DOS program running on a web page. Um, unlike the emulated DOS versions of running QBasic and then running the program, this is much more responsive. It feels like you're actually running a DOS program. It's quick. There's no lag or delay in pressing the keys. Everything is really fast and responsive. It just feels like a good DOS program on the web. So let me switch over to the code and let's start with the HTML file. If you watched any of my tutorials before, it's pretty much the same template that I've used in those. We're just starting the game.js from this HTML file. Even though I'm setting the canvas width here, I'm changing the size in the code. So let's start with the main Pascal file, which is game.pass. And I'm using a few units here. I'm using the web. This BGI unit is my slimmed down version of the Borland graphics interface. I've only created enough code to run the game. There's no extra functions. So if I flip to that, here's all I created the init graph, bar, rectangle, line, filled circle, circle, alt text, put pixel, which I don't use in the game, and the set fill style and the set color. So if we go back here, and the other files, the Reversi main code. So this is pretty much a direct translation of the original code that was converted to Pascal. So QBasic originally converted to Pascal and then converted into a unit here. But if we scroll through it, we can see that it looks very similar to the DOS version. I replaced this function here because this is not available in the Pass2JS compiler. All it does is initialize all the values in the array to 0. Maybe there's a quicker way than looping through every item in the array. I'll look at that in a future time. But everything else, if you look here, looks like standard Turbo Pascal code. It doesn't look like JavaScript. It doesn't look like Windows. It looks like DOS, which to some of you might seem a little strange that I'd be happy to say that, but it's it's the platform I feel most comfortable. So when I see things looking like DOS, I'm happy. It's something I can relate to. So all this looks like DOS to me. The only area that slightly starts to resemble JavaScript is if we go into the BGI here and actually see how we created some of these functions. So now if we look at, how we created the canvas, things start looking like HTML, like JavaScript, and but it's only a small bit of the overall code. Here again, it starts to resemble JavaScript a bit because we're using JavaScript functions. But once you get past by the weird JavaScript and just look at the actual logic of the game, it still looks like Pascal code. It looks like DOS Pascal code, and this is something I've been striving to do. I know my web app will look like a DOS program, but I could improve them to make them look better. Um, but as a starting point, I'm actually happy that they look this way. It's something familiar to me, and I want to do a few more games in this style and then move on to making things look slightly better. But for now, the uh, the web app looks like a DOS program. And you can even access this if you go to, I've set up a website. I'll put the link in the description, and you don't even have to download anything. It just plays off the website. And the code is on GitHub. Everything you need is there, all the code. And I've done a little write-up. I'm not quite finished with that yet, but as soon as I finished a little write-up of all the things I did, I'll upload it in the GitHub repository here. So I think that's all I want to talk about today. I'm just really excited that I've managed to get this done. It didn't look that I would have the time to finish this, but it ended up all coming together yesterday, so I'm happy that I got it working. Again, looks like DOS, but I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching.